You know that feeling where something is just not right? Like, you can't point to it. You can't say this is the thing that's bothering me, or this is the moment, or this is why. But somewhere deep down you know that something is just simply off about it. But you know what? You're still functioning, right? You're still doing everything you are supposed to do. You're still showing up to the meeting, still showing up to the works, to the event, and you're still replying to all the messages, you're still attending the calls. To put it into simple words, you're still being you, no? The person that everyone expects you to be. But inside, you're just kind of stuck with these multiple feelings that you're just not able to name that, what is it that's actually bothering you? I have been there, not once, a lot of times actually. And the thing that made it really hard, like the thing that made it the most difficult, was that it didn't come from one place. It didn't just come from one aspect of my life. It was a mix of everything. It was friendships, it was family, relationships, work, everything kind of asking the same thing of me, and all at once. That be available, be steady, be the one who holds it together. And I was, I genuinely was holding it all together, you know, but nobody, not even one person around me could tell how much that was costing me. And the reason is because when I'm not okay, I go quiet. And the problem is, I'm always quiet. So nobody ever knew the difference. There is actually a Korean word that I want to share with you today. It's called Han, HAN. And honestly, when I came across this word, I could relate so much to this word because, even in English, there is not a proper translation to this word. It cannot be easily translated into English. Like, there is no one word we have that covers it all. Han is a word that is deep, meaning quite weariness. And it doesn't come from one thing, not from one hard week or one difficult conversation, but from the slow build of carrying things, so many things over time, across your whole life almost. The weight of always enduring, always holding, always being the one who doesn't fall apart. And what makes Han different from just being tired? It's that it's actually so quiet. It doesn't shout or break down or demand to be seen. It just stays, sits in your chest like something you have been carrying for so long. You forgot it. You forgot about it. You forgot that it wasn't supposed to be there. When I found this word, I recognized it immediately, not from one moment, or like it didn't just click me instantly. It I recognized it from a small, slow build. Here's the thing about going quiet when you're not okay. If you're the kind of the person who gets loud when who gets distant in an obvious way, who changes, who shows it, something that people notice, and they will check in with you, they will ask you, um, but if you're not but if quiet is just how you are, that it's a part of you being quiet, and if that's your default, then your pain has nowhere to go that looks different from your normal. And nobody stops because there is nothing telling them to stop, because that's who you actually are. You're just quiet. And I have never once had someone walk into my silence and correctly understand what it was. And it was not because people didn't care, but because I had given them no signal. And I think some of you exactly know what I mean by that. Like you have been carrying something for months, maybe longer, inside, like a silence that everyone around you keeps mistaking for you being there, for you being fine. You know, that quietness is there, but people assume that you're just fine. And like the hard part to explain is that it does not feel like a crisis. And that's what makes it so confusing. It's not like you wake up and you just can't function. You function fully, completely. You're doing everything. You reply to the messages. You show up to the thing. You laugh in the right moments. Um, you ask how everyone else is doing. And you mean it. It's not something that you're faking. You genuinely care. So don't get me wrong over here that when you go quiet, you try to fake it out. You're not faking it. That's part of who you are because you genuinely care about people. That is why you're replying to them. That is why you're talking to them. That is why you're caring. You show up at the right moments. So it's not fake at all. But then you get home and you sit down. And then there is this flatness, like the whole day just slid off you and left nothing behind, and you don't even have the words for it because nothing specific went wrong. You are just stuck, like, again. And the guilt that comes with it, the guilt that says, why am I like this? My life is fine, other people have it harder. You get into this guilt feeling that everything is going fine, then why am I feeling like that? That part, that's very real too. I think what hand takes from you over time is the ability to receive. Like you get so used to being the one who gives, the one who listens, the one who holds, the one who absorbs everything, that when someone actually turns to you and says, how are you really? You don't know what to do with it. You don't know what to do with that kind of a question. It almost feels uncomfortable, like, what? Wait, is this for me? Are you asking me? And you deflect, or you say you're just fine, or you make a joke out of it, and then you move the conversation back to them because that's a role you know. That's a space you have learned to take up. But here's what I have come to understand about it is that this is not strength. I mean, it looks like strength because from the outside, it completely looks like strength. But what it actually is a kind of forgetting, a slow, quiet forgetting of what it feels like to let someone carry something for you. I named this show Silence Between Coffee because I think the realest thing, the things we actually feel, lives in this silence, not in the conversations, but in the space after those conversations. And for a long time, my hand lived there, in my silence when nobody could find it out, when I had stopped looking for it myself. Uh, Frankly speaking, I don't have this figured out. I want to be honest about this. And this isn't me on the other side of it talking back to you. This is me in it still, some days more than the others. But I think there is something in just naming it, saying that this kind of quietness is real. And trust me, you're not being dramatic. You may sound dramatic to yourself or to the people you may explain, but this is not you being dramatic. This is not you being ungrateful for what you have. This is what happens when someone has been strong for a very long time and nobody, including them, stopped to ask how much that cost. You have been carrying something. I don't know what it is, but I know you have. And I just want you to know that I see it, even through a microphone, even without knowing your name. This was Silence Between Coffee. I am AK. Be gentle with yourself today.